Welcome back. In this episode of the Martinez Report, I want to discuss the recent anti-ICE raids in California, as well as the people waving Mexican flags who will do anything but return back there. So of course, all these recent anti-ICE riots are a response to the Trump administration's recent doubling down on their immigration policies and using law enforcement to track down anyone who is here undocumented. And of course, it's understandable that many people would be upset and scared because of it, and so for that, I don't blame them. However, I do not believe that going out there and burning cop cars and attacking police and throwing rocks at moving vehicles who happen to be police is right, because we're seeing the absolute destruction of the reputation of immigrants in this country. Because now when everyone thinks of immigrants, they're going to think of the rioters, the people that are causing destruction, and the people who are anti-police, and I think that is horrible. But first off, I want to say that it makes my blood boil that people like Gavin Newsom and people like Kamala Harris are out there saying that this is just, peaceful protesting, even though people are being attacked, people are being pepper sprayed, people are having rocks thrown at their cars, collateral damage because of these riots. And that's not right. These immigrants that are going out to the streets thinking they're some sort of hero, thinking that they're doing something right, they're not. In fact, they're ruining the reputation of every immigrant that's in America, and they're turning everyone against them. They're playing into Trump's plan, which is to give immigrants a bad look, which would give him more support from the rest of the country to cracking down on his immigration laws. So instead of trying to bring public support to immigrants and bring empathy and sympathy to immigrants, these riots are doing the exact opposite. They're making everyone think of immigrants as terrorists, as violent people, as rioters, and these actions are turning everyone against them. Burning cop cars, burning the American flag, waving Mexican flags, although you yourself would rather die than return to Mexico, and walking around draped in communist flags, anti-ICE riots have become the new BLM protests. But this time, things are different. Trump's in charge, and you will receive consequences. And because of those few thousand rioters, every single immigrant in this country will suffer. That sounds pretty counterproductive, doesn't it? While I don't have a solution, I know that this is not the answer. It's not effective, and it is doing more harm to immigrants than it is helping them. And I see videos all over the internet of people just attacking police, throwing rocks at them, throwing rocks at police cars that are actively moving, and they think that that is going to garner them support. It's not. In fact, it's doing the opposite. I understand that a lot of people who are relatives of immigrants might be scared or fearful or thinking that their future is uncertain here, and that is understandable. But I have to say that if you think that the solution is to put your life in danger and put your family's life in danger to go out there and start rioting and acting like an animal, it's not. In fact, you think that you might be helping your cause, but it's doing the opposite. Let's say a person sees that. They're not going to be pro-immigrant. They're going to be against immigrant. They're going to want you out of here because you're acting like an animal, you're acting degenerate, and you're acting like a terrorist. And you go online, you see everyone is against it. Everyone is saying, why are people who hate America so much in America? Why are people who would rather burn American police cars and wave a Mexican flag around it in America? But then you say, oh, then go back to Mexico. And suddenly they're like, no, I hate Mexico. Mexico's trash. It's wrong, it's crazy, it's demented, and I don't understand it. I will never understand it. And people literally die to get here, but you're out here attacking America in the name of immigrants. You're not pro-immigrant, you're anti-immigrant because you're making everyone hate immigrants. And I understand that politically everything's kind of a mess right now. Of course, we just saw yesterday a horrific scene where in Colombia, a presidential candidate who is a conservative was shot in the head.
El principal problema en Colombia.
I am unaware if he's alive or not, but if he is alive, he is definitely in critical condition. That is not right. That should not be happening in politics. Of course, we saw it in America when Donald Trump was shot on July 13, which the 1-year anniversary is coming up. It's not right. I understand that politics makes people passionate, it fuels them, but this is not right. So I guess at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that no, going out there and acting like an animal is not going to garner you support. It's going to make you look crazy. It was just reported that another anti-ICE riot is being organized in Tampa, Florida. And if you're in the area, I encourage you to not participate. You think you're doing it for the good of immigrants, but you are harming immigrants. Immigrants will suffer because of the actions of these people, and they don't understand what they're doing. They don't understand the harm that they're causing, and not only to immigrants but to themselves. There's people out there like Laura Loomer who are literally investigating every single person in those riots. Of course, she's a very powerful journalist. She will put you in jail. So I don't understand why these people are out there thinking that they won't suffer any consequences for their actions, whilst not accomplishing anything for anyone. I understand why some people might be fearful at these times. It's understandable, but bringing chaos to the entire country is not the thing to do.
This is new video showing restaurant workers helping sheriff's deputies in Compton. You can see some of the deputies sitting in the booths as workers help to flush their eyes, likely after getting hit with tear gas. After a short break, the deputies put their gas masks back on and headed back out to help contain the protests.
I want to highlight the people in the middle of the action who I think are doing the opposite and are actually inspiring people. And those are the small business owners who are around these protests, who are many times Hispanic. In fact, there was one story about a Venezuelan business owner who owned a restaurant who was in the middle of these protests, and of course, I'm sure had their business destroyed, attacked, burned. However, after the protest, the business owner took in the cops who were wounded and began to help them, provide them food, provide them bandages, medical care. And that really touched me because this shows that minorities, immigrants, we aren't here to create havoc. And that is what we need to show. Not out here destroying cars, destroying the property of innocent people. It's not right. And I think that as these riots continue to go, we're going to see many stories of people who are choosing to actually do good and not try to bring damage to the country. And I would encourage people to choose that side. Don't choose the side of the rioters who are not doing anything. You think, like I see all these young kids on TikTok who are thinking that they're bringing huge change, but they're not. It's the same thing like the BLM riots. You're causing more damage than you know. If the situation continues to escalate, we know that they're bringing in Marines now, they're bringing in the National Guard. Like, it's just gonna happen all over the country because of a giant riot. It's giving them an excuse to take things to the next level. And I don't understand why immigrants think that doing that is beneficial to them. It's not. It's going to create more harm. And Los Angeles is supposed to be a sanctuary city, so I don't understand why the immigrants that are rioting are pushing this and opening doors to this situation getting even worse. Something definitely needs to be done. It's a shame that California is under the leadership of Gavin Newsom, who is as weak as it can get. And Mayor Bass is even worse. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I do know that if you're here and you're on like TikTok and convinced that going out here and creating chaos is right, it's not. And I encourage you to think twice. I encourage you to think that how it might affect you and your family and your relatives and your community. It's not positive. I do see all these videos online of ICE raids around different areas of the country, and families being separated, and I have sympathy for them. And I've yet to think of a proper solution that would help everyone. I think a lot of people are scared to have the conversation of what we should do, which is understandable, but I think people's immediate solution is to riot and attack police for some reason, but I know that it's not right. And the thing is that, sure, you can protest all you want, but when you start burning the American flag and when you start attacking police, you don't look like somebody who's fighting for your rights. You look like a terrorist, and that will destroy the reputation that immigrants have fought so many years to build.